Well, happy Friday, everybody. And it wouldn't be Friday night if there wasn't some technical difficulty. Sorry, I'm just a couple minutes late. I couldn't get my microphone to work. That's right. The brand new wireless microphone that I've been so geeked about just stopped working. It was working earlier today, but now it's not. So I don't have time to troubleshoot it anymore. So I'm happy I have a backup mic. Welcome to Friday night. If you are new around here, first of all, welcome. Thank you for joining me. We're going to have a blast. This is my way of kicking off the weekend. We've had a week of work and other obligations, and now is Friday night, and it's our time to kick it off right by getting into something creative or whatever brings you joy. Maybe it's cleaning, maybe it's sewing, maybe it's knitting, maybe it's crocheting, maybe it's throwing paint on a wall, like literally throwing paint splatters on a wall. Whatever it is that makes you happy, I'm so glad that you're kicking off the weekend with me. So I've got lots of chat going on, and I think I saw while I was working on the microphone that there was a kid injured at a playground. So whoever that kid was, I'm totally like, my thoughts are with you. I hope you're doing okay. Dana says hello from Czech. I'm having a late night sewing session so I can watch Becca live once again. Hooray! Yay, Dana. I am so happy that you're here. I know the volume might be just a little bit lower than what we normally have, but if everybody could just let me know if they can hear me okay in the chat, that would be great. Don't need a big critique as to whether or not it's perfect sound. I just want to make sure that you can hear me okay and I'm not coming through too low. I am projecting my voice a little bit, so by the time the live stream's over, I might be a little hoarse, but we're going to figure it out. Courtney is here. She says, don't forget to give a thumbs up, subscribe, and share the channel. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Deborah Redgrave says, I'm not sewing tonight. I'm just watching. That's awesome. Glad you're here either way. Everybody saying it's all good. Sounds like I'm good. Sound is good. Great, 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 great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so it's just me tonight. I had extended an invite out to Miss Monique from Gate Quilts, but she's on a lovely trip with her husband. And I gotta put my phone away. I'm so sorry. Stay. Fallon, that's who it is. Fallon was the other person, but she has a soccer game or something tonight with her kids, so it's just me, and that's totally cool. Because for the next several weeks, there's going to be a guest on Friday night. Like, just about every night for the next month, I've got a collab lined up, so you guys need to make sure to tune in, subscribe, all of the things. So... oh, yes, I'm wearing the bee pendant. I love this thing. I put it on last night after I got my sew sampler box, and I never took it off. I went to bed with it on. I woke up, I was like, I've been wearing it all day. All right, so we're just going to dive into the Open Gate box. I want to see what's in here. I have an idea of a little bit of what's in here, but I just want to show you what's in the box. So we're going to go to the overhead camera in just a minute, and then we're going to get sewing and talking tonight. So I hope you guys are ready for a fun time. Let me just switch you to the overhead camera. Okay, so oops, there is my home address. Let's just fix that. I'm going to hold it like this while I get my box cutter out. All right. There. That's better. Let's pull all of these items out one at a time. Okay, you know what? Whatever. Let's look. Okay. Okay. We'll throw that away. Alrighty. 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 Alrighty, so every box we get has a sheet of paper that tells us about all the items that are inside the box. So every one of these boxes comes with 2 projects, a bonus pattern or fat quarter, a small spool of thread, and a must-have notion. And I'm going to show you what these are one at a time. Now the projects, I do want to tell you, they're kits. They're full-on kits. Everything you need to make that project is in each one of those kits. You have a big project and a smaller quick sew project. The smaller one is usually what I've been doing on the live streams, just because it's a little bit easier for me to kind of knock that out while talking through the box. And I save the bigger project for somebody else or some other time. And I haven't actually tackled any in recent months, and I really want to, because there's been a couple that I've just been like, oh, this is so goodness. Becca, where do you get your t-shirts? I designed this t-shirt. You can check it out down below this video. There are a bunch of links with a few different designs. You click on that and it'll take you over to my store. You can also go to my website, SEWBECCA.com, and up at the top, I think there's something that says support, and then you go to merch, and that'll take you to my merch shop too. Becca, I was saying earlier, I think my stash builder box has a gambling problem, as it was in Las Vegas and now Reno. Luane, you should probably call somebody about that. Hey, Tiff. So we do have some moderators in the chat, Tiffany and just Becca. Hello, Gail Merrifield from Garden City, Michigan, my birthplace. Tiffany's Quilting Life and Teresa are both here in the chat. We do have some lovely moderators, and if you would like to learn a little bit more about them, you can do !friends, and that'll bring up the few moderators that I have enabled for the channel. All of my moderators do have channels of their own, and so they would love it as a special thank you to them if you would use the command for them to hop over to their channel, check out their content, and if you like what you see, you can subscribe. All right, here we go. I don't need this. I never really look at it because all of her stuff is packaged very nicely and it is pretty self-explanatory. So I'm going to start with the bonus items and then I'll show you the projects. So the first bonus item that we have is a garden path quilt. This is a quilt pattern that is written directly by Monique. Monique writes all of the patterns, designs all of the projects in here. And yeah, the quilt is going to measure 84 inches by 92 inches, and that's what it will look like. I can't really tell if this is just using a lot of little pieces or a panel. I think it's using a lot of little pieces. So, there you go. Bonus pattern. We either get that or an extra fat quarter or other piece of fabric. We always get a small spool of Aurifil thread, and this month is no different. We have a small spool of Aurifil cotton 50 weight thread, and this is color number 2024, which is a beautiful white. You can never have enough white thread in your sewing room, in my opinion. And then the sewing notion that we have is a bit of, it's not a whole package of it, but it's probably enough to make the projects that we have. And this is triangles on a roll. This is basically like foundation paper piecing. The idea here is that you line up your two fabrics right sides together and put it under the paper, and then you sew on the dotted line and you cut on the solid line. It's just like the cupcake mix recipes or the cake layer recipes and all those other things. Same basic concept, but you're not really building a block. You're just making half square triangles with this. And it looks like this is going to make, it's telling you to cut your fabric 9.5 inches wide by your desired length. You pin it here, and I'm trying to see if it tells you. Nope, it doesn't. Does she say in the thing what it... No, I do not see. I don't know what size this will make. Oh, 3.5 inch finished. So your half square triangle units, when you're done with this, will be 4 inches, but then after you sew it into your project, it'll be 3.5 inches finished. Awesome. Great. We'll set that aside. All right. Our two projects this month. I love the way she does her packaging, because she gives you a cellophane bag that is sealed. It tells you a label on here of what it is that you're going to make. So this is the Dots on You body pillow or table runner. It will measure 48 inches by 20 inches. And you can see all of the fabric that she's put together here. I am not a huge solid fan, so this isn't really something I would have chosen, but I really love this blue. And I don't mind the purple. Not a huge orange fan, but I feel like all of this is going to go really nicely together. And just in case, oh, she's done it in an opposite colorway. I was going to say, just in case you want to see exactly what the project will look like, you can flip it over and see. The difference here, though, is that she has used a black background and used a panel that had black coloring with those polka dots. But what we have here in my kit, it's white. So everywhere where you see black, you're going to see white if you do this project. I actually think I prefer the black because I feel like it makes the colors pop, although that purple gets a little lost in the black. So I think we're going to get the most contrast with the white. I will set this on my shelf to do. And by the way, This roll of triangles on a roll, this paper, is going to help you make those half square triangle units quite nicely. All right, so the project that we're going to do tonight is the small project, and this is what it's going to be. It's a see-through project pouch. It will measure 10 inches by 10 inches. And this is what it will look like when it's all done. It's basically a project bag with a zipper on it and a piece of vinyl. So I'm not going to give you the cutting instructions because that would be giving away the pattern, and I don't think that's fair to Monique since these are supposed to be exclusive to the boxes. But I will show you step by step how I put it together, and you could design one for yourself with your own measurements if you would like. These are pretty easy to do. I have done them before on a live stream, actually. So I think we're going to have quite a bit of fun with this. And while I'm getting this together, I will just read some chats. Oh, vinyl. Yes, there is vinyl. There is a piece of vinyl right here. Just like that. And we've got a little sheet of instructions that tells us about the vinyl. So I'm going to set that aside. This is my pattern that tells me about how to put that together. And then I do have all of my fabric and interfacing and my zippity zip zip zip, which is right here. This is gonna be really cute when it's all together, and this actually will coordinate with that body pillow table runner, so that'll be really cute. Tanya Ross says, I love your nails. Thank you. I just got them done this afternoon. They're kind of an iridescent purple. I don't know if I can get that to focus, who knows, but they're really pretty. I'm quite happy with them. And the guy, so I went and got a mani-pedi before the live stream tonight, and the guy that did my pedicure, oh, my feet feel like a baby's bottom. Colleen says, thank you all for my son who was in his 20s. He had a drunk run-in with an elderly man. And oh no, oh no, Colleen. Tiffany's Quilting Life says, it is a pretty project. Yes, we know it is, and we know that you've already done it, and we know that you have a video showcasing it. So awesome! If you guys want to see a time-lapse version of this, you can go check out Tiffany's video. Also, she has started getting this box and doing openings on her channel for it as well. So if you want to see her version of an unboxing, she doesn't get, I think this is the only box she gets, but definitely go check out her videos because she's not doing just a traditional unboxing. She's showing you what's in there without really even talking over top of it and then doing the project, which I think is kind of genius. All right, I'm just going to give the fabrics that are in here a little press to get rid of any folds that were in the fabric during transit. That's the word. I can talk. I do promise you that. All right. So what is everybody working on tonight? Don't forget, if you are working on something you would like to share it with the whole world, you can post pictures to the Facebook group, and you can get to the Facebook group by doing exclamation Facebook. It'll give you a link. And then you can post all of your lovely pictures to the Facebook group. And later on in the evening, we'll do a sew and share. Is that what? Sew and tell. That's what I was calling it. We'll do a sew and tell, and we'll show off what you guys have been working on. Okay. Right now, I'm just pressing the fabrics. And then I will read the instructions. I will read the instructions out loud, just so I'm not filling my video with a bunch of dead air, but I will be omitting the cutting sizes. So you will have to figure out your own cutting sizes if you were going to make one of these. I'm not going to give the pattern away for free. Okay. Need some water. Aw, Courtney says, I wanted to tell you you are awesome, and I love learning new things from you, Tiffany and Teresa. Well, thank you, and you're welcome, and I'm sure they thank you as too. Okay, I've got all these pieces pressed. Say that 10 times fast. Pieces pressed, pieces, whatever. All right, everything's together. Let's just take a moment to look at our instructions. Yep. Okay, so this strip is going to be for our binding, so I'm going to set that aside. I won't need that until later. the dot fabric, we have our square and our binding strip. And then our solid fabric, from the solid, we got to make some cuts. Okay, so we're going to cut one piece of fabric that is the same size as our dot. That makes sense. And then the other pieces are going to be, I'm going to guess, to put edges or borders around our zipper, as well as our vinyl pouch. So I'm going to cut this to be the same size as my little dot fabric. It says there. Yep. Need a rotary cutter. So I was chatting with Monique a little bit earlier this week, and she wanted to let you guys know, she asked me to pass along the information, that she has had a few cancellations for her box. And so if you are looking to get into the Open Gates quilt box, there are openings right now. You can go over to her website. If you do exclamation Open Gates, I think it is. It's also pinned in the blue bubble at the top of the chat. And if you do exclamation project, I think you can get there as well. It's on opengatequilts.com. If you are interested in signing up for the box, vacancies are available right now. And I feel like this is a good box to get if you're looking for something to sew along with, because I frequently do a live sew with this box. Have been doing it once a month. So I will likely do at least the small with you. Maybe sometimes I'll do the large, just depends. They're right. So there's that piece. I'm going to set that aside with this and this. So my batting, my dot, and that solid, all three of those are the same size, and they are square. So you can figure out what to do from there. Okay, now need to cut some more. Need more! Okay. Hi, Judy. Welcome to the live stream. Catitude says, hi, everyone. That name's awesome. It reminds me of somebody I work with. Catitude says, hi, everyone. Long time stalker, first time talker. Happy Saturday. Happy well, it's not Saturday yet, but it will be soon. I'm guessing you're in England, so happy Saturday. All right, I need 4 of these pieces. Okay, that makes sense. So if I need 4, then I'm going to do this. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, da, ba, ba, ba. Is this right? Cut, measure twice, cut once. Hope it was. Man, I'm going to need a new blade in this rotary cutter. I'm leaving threads behind. And anybody else ever have that problem? You know what? We're just going to do it. We're just going to rip the Band-Aid and change the blade now. Because otherwise, I'm going to sit here all night and go, I really need to change the blade. And it's going to drive me insane. And I'm going to start pulling at the threads. And it's not a good thing. So now's a great time for you to change the blade in your rotary cutter. Don't be like me and wait till the last minute. So I'm going to turn my screw away from me, and the martelli I always twist it the opposite direction. And then I'm going to push my guard off. It's going to take the blade out. I'll put this back. This rotary cutter, by the way, has seen some better days. It's one I've had for years, and it's about done. All the little clover pieces are starting to break off. I've only got 2 left. Might have to get a new one soon. Hello. Vicky McFarland says, I love watching you and Tiffany. And then the comment went away and I couldn't see. All right. Is anybody else watching this, like, waiting for something bad to happen? Like, ooh, is she gonna nick herself? Ooh, girl, don't do it, girl. I'm not gonna do it. I'm only thinking about it. Don't do it, girl. Anybody else got a TikTok song running through their head? All right. There we go. I did it. All right. Now I got to put this blade cover back on. And I like to get it lined up most of the way. And then I put my screw into that hole and finish pulling it all the way through. And then I screw this back in. Close the lid on these. I'm going to go dispose of this in my shops container. Teacher said, I'm not going to wish that on you. Oh, yeah, that's going to cut like butter. All right, so let me resume the cutting. Oh, Vicky said, to finish, I haven't had a chance to catch Teresa, even though I love you and Tiffany. Oh, well, definitely give her a little peek. She does a live stream on Sunday afternoons at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. And then she does lots of other things live and other videos too. So definitely just hop over and check out her content. The best way to let a content creator know that you like what they're doing is to subscribe and watch their content. And if you don't like what you see, then don't watch it. Okay. So I need to do that 2 more times because I need 4 strips that are that size. Oh, did you hear that? That was great. It was like, vroom. Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. How will they know? They'll never know. How will they know? They'll never know. How will they know? I uninstalled TikTok from my phone, but I still am seeing the same content because I feel like TikTok creators take those shorts and they put them on Instagram and Facebook shorts and now even YouTube. So you still see the same stuff and I love it. It's great. Okay, now I've got 4 pieces that are that size. And now I need 4 pieces that are this size. Okay. 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 I said okay. Felice Waters says coming in late. So what are we working on tonight? We are making the small project that is in the Open Gate quilt box. I'm not giving the pattern away because it's not my pattern to give. But I will tell you it is a vinyl, it's a small vinyl project bag. Zipper, vinyl, fabric, yeah. Wait a minute. Before I cut that way, let me just do this. Okay. Yes, this way. Look at these extra little tiddly bits I can put in a box and send off to somebody, Tiffany. All right. I need 4 of these strips. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hi, Gwenny. Patty said, so Becca, I received your package yesterday and really love everything. Big thanks to you. You're welcome. I am glad you like it. Sorry it took me so long to get it in the mail, but I'm glad you have it now. All right, these are scraps. I will put them in my scrap bin over there. And now I've got all my fabric cut out and ready to go. Let's see what our first step is going to be. So it wants us, it says to remove the paper from the vinyl and sandwich one of the smaller rectangles. Oh, wait, no. Okay, so this piece of vinyl, these small rectangles should match up with the, okay, I think. All right, so these pieces will be a little bit bigger, about a 1/2 inch bigger than our squares, and these pieces will be on either side of our vinyl. So it says remove the paper from the vinyl and then sandwich one of the short sides of the vinyl between two of these small strips that we cut. Sew a 1/4 inch. Open and finger press out. Top stitch. Okay, this does not make any sense to me. So it says remove the paper from the vinyl, sandwich one side of the vinyl between two of these strips. So I'm just going to lay it out like that. Oh, I see. Yeah, it is making sense to me now. Okay, so we would do like this. Let me bring you into frame like that. Get this out of here because we're done cutting. And then it says to sew a 1/4 inch and then open and finger press out. So we would open this way. Okay, I see what you're doing. So this is making the little window. So let's follow the instructions. We're going to pull this off. Hi, Lizette. Okay, here we go. I'm going to use some Wonder Clips because vinyl can be a little sticky, grippy, whatever. It can be a little fussy to actually sew with. And I just want to hold, it's a slippery surface, and I want the fabric to stay in place. So I'm going to get everything all lined up. Boop, 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 boop. Just like, yay. Okay. And then I'll pick this one up just like that. And now I'm going to come over and clip the living daylights out of this because I don't want it to move. It's so difficult with vinyl or cork or leather or any of those materials that you're working with, because once your needle punctures that surface to sew, there's a hole in it forever. So I like to over clip to really hold it in place. So I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch away from this edge here, and then I'm going to pull each piece out, and I'm just going to finger press it with a notion because I don't want to take it to the iron since there's vinyl here. Oh, and look what I can do. What I can do. Wait, hold on. Look what I can do. Wait, where'd it go? I think. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's see if it works. Ha! Look at that. You can see me sew up close and personal. Okay, here we go. I'm so nervous to do this, but we're just gonna do it. It's only fabric and it's only thread, right, Mark? In this case, it's only vinyl and it's only thread. I know it's a little dim in there, but at least you can see. Oh, I did it. I did it. I did it. Okay. I did that too. I can do it. All right, here we go. Now we're just going to pull, we said we were going to use the Notion, not my fingers. I just had my fingers done. I'm not trying to ruin my new manicure that's not even 12 hours old yet. You guys ever find that? Like, if you get your nails done, when you start using your fingers to finger press, it ruins, like, it starts to rub the polish at the tip of your nails off. I find that all the time. So this thing helps. I like it. I got it in a associated box. All right, so now we've got this. Wait, did it want us to top stitch before or after? So it said open and finger press out. Now top stitch along the edge. So what I'm going to do is right along this edge, I'm going to edge stitch really, really closely. I'm going to try to get as close to the edge as I can. And I'm actually even going to step that up to a 4 stitch length just to make it look a little nicer. And I'm going to go slow because I don't want to veer off of this like I do all the time with my binding. There. Oh, it looks marvelous. It looks I forgot to give you the camera view over there, sorry. But it really does look quite nice. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Yep. Hello? Hello? Has anybody seen the other 2 pieces of fabric that I need for the other side? There's those are the bigger ones. They go on the floor. Does anybody else have this problem with their sewing fabric just walks away? Seriously, let me know in the chat if you saw where I said it. That's my scrap. Oh, found it. Found it. High Tangle says, take him. Dai Wen says, good evening. What are we making? We are making a small vinyl project bag. This is one of the kits that was included in the Open Gates quilt box. And Monique from Open Gate Quilts does have some cancellations. So if you are interested in getting the subscription box, you can pick it up over at her website, and you can use !project to get the link, or you can just click the bubble at the top of the chat. Okay, I've got one side clipped, which will make this a little bit easier. Gotta clip it to death. Clip it to death. Da 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 da. There we go. There we is. Okay. And now we'll go back to the machine. I'm going to turn this back down to a 2 stitch length. And I'm going to do 1/4 of an inch away from the edge of the fabric and the vinyl. Now I'm going to bring it back over here and I'm going to open it and finger press this really nice and flat on both sides. No iron because I've got that vinyl in there. Just like that. And I'm going to go back to the machine. I'm going to turn my stitch length up to a 4, and I'm going to edge stitch right along this folded edge. I'm going to go nice and slow because I don't want to veer off of that fabric. And I feel like anytime I'm edge stitching, I have a habit of if I go too fast, I veer off. So slow and steady wins the race here. All right, so now I've got my vinyl with these 2 pieces on either side that it's a nice finished edge. So there we go. The next step that we're going to do is basically the same thing for the bottom. So we're going to take this piece, two of the longer. So if you're paying attention here, if you wanted to make your own version of this, I won't give you her measurements, but what we're doing is getting a cut of vinyl, and the cut of vinyl, we are taking those two pieces of fabric that are the same size as our short edges, and then the long pieces are going to be the width of the fabric and vinyl together once you've put on the sides. See what she's doing there? You can, not going to give you the measurements, but it's easy enough, and there's tons of tutorials on this that you could find your own project bag to do. And if you see the math, if you can pick up on the math and the pattern, like if you can pick up on the math here, you could design your own. Nobody told me there was going to be so much quilting and math. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. I'm going to go in here and grab these 3 layers and hold them together with all of my clips. Oops. Once I have a few clips in, it's a pretty safe bet that I can start picking it up and manipulating it to put more clips on. All right, so here we go. Stitch length 2.0. And now we're going to do the same thing. I should have given you the camera view for the machine. I'm still getting used to that. Right, so we're going to do the same thing over here. I don't need this anymore. That's trash. I don't need this anymore. That's trash. This is my pattern. We're going to keep that. I just want to make my space a little bit tidier so I can do more in front of the camera for you. Hi, Grace. Welcome to the live stream. Okay, I'm going to go back up to that 4.0 stitch length. I'm going to move these wonder clips out of the way. Oops, I edge stitched this way last time. We're going to follow that same thing. Now, let me see. Hello, Stephanie, Memoirs of a Long Arm Quilter. How are you? Yep, she's doing an edge stitch all the way across. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the same thing. Here we go. All right. Cut my thread. And now that is the end of step 1. Can you believe it? All that was step 1. So this is vinyl in here. See? Vinyl. And now, I don't need this either. Okay. See, how does she want us to handle these other, we're going to be working with these 2 pieces in the zipper next, I think. So it says sandwich the, press one of these in half lengthwise. Press the remaining along both edges. This doesn't make any sense to me. So she says, press one of these in half lengthwise. That I can do. So if I go like this, that makes sense to my brain. Easy enough. I'm going to give that a bit of heat to set it. The other one, though, my cotton mat fell. The other one, she said to press this one in a 1/4 inch along both edges. Oh, okay, I see. So only press in a 1/4 of an inch and then press it in half. Goodness, you know the best way to do this. I'm trying to think outside the box, right? So if we're going to press this in a 1/4 of an inch, we're going to mark what that 1/4 of an inch is. And I have my Clover water-soluble marker. I'm going to grab a ruler. I'm going to mark a 1/4 of an inch because this is where I need to fold. Actually, that's not even smart. We're going to mark a 1/2 inch in because that 1/2 inch is where the raw edge is going to line up. The 1/4 inch is where the crease will be. So on both sides, long sides of this piece of fabric, we're going to mark a 1/2 inch in. And now I'm going to take this fabric very carefully and I'm going to fold. In fact, I'm going to get my iron while I'm doing this because I think this would be better this way. I'm going to fold this raw edge along each side into that 1/4 inch. I'm going to pull up a little bit and then just put the hot iron over top of it. There's one side. Now we're going to do the other side. Let's put this down while I get it started. There we go. And now for both of these, we're going to press them in half with our iron. This one's hot, so I'm going to let that one sit before I do it. Don't put an iron on unless it's iron off. Yes, the hot ruler would have been perfect for this step. But I don't have, or the hot iron ruler, I don't actually have one of those. I had one. I just don't know where it is because I literally bought it and never used it. Oh, it's my standing goal. Teresa, you know what that means. It's time to stand and shake our booty. So one of the things that Teresa does on her live stream, which I think is absolutely genius and I love it, is she has a stand. Yeah, I'm going to give you the face thing. Every so often she stands and shakes up and my watch is telling me it's time to stand. So I'm going to stand and shake my legs just enough to kind of get my hips moved a little bit. I'm not going to do anything crazy stretching wise. I just don't want to be in a sitting position. It keeps my legs and hips from getting a little stiff. So if you are sitting at your machine, give yourself a stretch. This is something that Teresa does during her live streams, and my watch has been nagging me to do it more, and I've been trying to listen to it, so I am borrowing this idea from her. So get up and stretch, sit, shake your legs, and then you can sit back down. And don't forget to subscribe to Teresa. I feel like I stole her thing. And I'm just trying to pay attention to my watch, and I'm on camera while I'm doing it. So, all right, here we go. We are back at it. I have to get some more water in a minute too. Now, this is a water-soluble pen, by the way, that I used. And so I've got these blue marks that are in there. And because I know this is never going to go through the wash, I want those marks to go away. So I'm going to get my fabric that I just pressed. This is the one that has those long edges folded in 1/4 of an inch. I'm just going to get it damp from Best Press. And that will help the marks to come out. This is actually one of those things where if I would have had a friction pen, I probably would have used the friction pen. So now I have to take an extra step because I'm using a water-soluble marker. And now I'm just going to come in and repress it. Those marks should be gone because moisture takes them away. Quinny said, everyone stood at the same time. Did I just feel the earth slightly tilt east? Maybe. All right. So here are our 2 pieces that we just worked with. And now our next step is probably going to be something to do with, I don't know, I think it might be the zipper. All right, we've folded those. Okay, sandwich the pressed. Okay, wait a minute, hold on. Let me just make sure. Oh, okay, that makes sense to me. Sandwich the piece. So we've got 2 pieces. We have one piece that has 2 raw edges and one piece that has the finished edges. The piece that has the finished edges, she says we're going to sandwich our vinyl in here. And the reason why we folded it in that 1/4 of an inch is so that we have a nice finished edge on our vinyl. I feel like, because feel like we could have made this even narrower. We could have folded this in half and then folded in to meet it in the middle instead of being finicky with that 1/4 inch. It would have just meant we had a slightly smaller, no, actually, I don't think, well, I guess we could have. Well, anyway, regardless, we don't want to butt the vinyl right up against the fold. And the reason for that is because I have a feeling we're going to do something like this. At least this is what I would assume we're going to do. We're going to take these folded edges and we're going to lay the zipper in between here, and we're going to attach the folded edges to the zipper so that we have a finished zipper installed. But that's going to be a little difficult to do if I have the vinyl attached. She's telling us to attach this first, but I think I'm going to actually sew the zipper first. So let's go over to the machine. I'm just going to change a step here because it makes more sense to my brain. Oops, wrong one. Let's go to the Juki. All right, Bubba, we're going to sew this zipper. Are you ready? I'm going to use a 2.0 stitch length, and I'm going to take this folded edge and butt it up against the teeth of this zipper. I think I do have a zipper foot somewhere, but I'm not going to mess about changing out my zipper. I don't need to have this super close. I just want to be consistent. So I'm just going to go. All right, that's one side. And now this other side, I'm going to do the same thing with. I think maybe folding in that 1/4 of an inch does make more sense, actually, now that I'm seeing how much of the zipper tape takes up the fabric. So we're just going to keep following her instructions. I'm putting the fold of my fabric up against the zipper teeth, and I am trying to stitch, probably, if I'm being honest, it's probably between 1/4 and 1/8 of an inch away from the zipper. I'm sorry, away from the folded edge. Oh, that'll be fine. So here's what my finished zipper looks like. Now I've got 2 pieces of fabric attached to the zipper. One side has raw edges that are cut and there's nothing there, and then this is the hemmed edge. And so now what I can do is take this piece of fabric, open it up, and put my vinyl in there. And I can put that all the way in, right up close to the zipper if I wanted to. Just going to make sure that my fabric fits. It does. And now I'm going to come in and edge stitch right along this fold, so I'm tacking it down from both sides. And that, again, I'm going to do with a 4.0 stitch length all the way across, just like I did on the bottom. Okay. This is now the top. This is my vinyl pocket that I'm going to use for my bag. I'm going to set this aside because my next step is to make my quilt sandwich. So, what does she want us to do here? Layer the solid fabric on the bottom, the fused dot on the top, so that the dots show through the vinyl. Okay, I'm going to quilt this first. So, okay, I'm going to take my solid, lay it down. I'm going to put my vinyl, my batting right on top of it. And then I'm going to take my dot fabric and lay it on top. This is a fusible, so I'm putting it glue side towards the white, though it doesn't really matter where you put the glue. And then I'm going to take my hot iron and press this so that the glue stays fused down. And I'm going to quilt it a little bit. You could do some free motion quilting on this. I am not going to. You could do some crosshatch, some straight lines, whatever it is you want to do. I think I'm going to do some pretty crosshatch. And so the way I'm going to do that is by marking this with my water-soluble pen. I'll flip this over and get it from the other side too. That should hold it for tonight for our fun things. Becca's videos were a huge help to me. I love them. Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to get my 6.5 inch by 12.5 inch ruler. And the first thing that I'm going to do is mark a 45-degree line going from corner to corner. Oops. Did I do that right? Gosh, I hope so. Yep. And now I'm going to mark from the other corner to corner, 45-degree line. Okay. And now I'm just going to go over about 2 inches from each of those lines because I'm not trying to make this heavily quilted. I just want to add some texture and hold things together. So every 2 inches, I'm going to draw a line in all four directions. So, and then this should be enough down here. You can't really see. This is a very fine pen. Wish I had. There, I do have. I think this one will be a little bit bolder so you can see my marks. See if this works a little bit better for you. Yeah, that'll work. You can see it a little bit better on camera, this one. The other one I can see, it's a very fine tip. By the way, that is the marker that I got in the sew sampler box yesterday. I'm already using it. I love these things. I just want to make the marking better so that you can see it a little bit. Oh, I guess you can't see it because it's so busy. All that, and you can't even, you can't even see the markings. Whatever. We're going to go with it anyway. I can see it better, so there's that. Oh, that's a 1 inch, so we're just going to ignore that one. I think 1 inch crosshatch is a little overkill for this one. Okay, every 2 inches. There's 2. Here's 2 more. And 2 more. There we go. I'm going to turn it around. I think if you were really confident in your free motion quilting ability, you could definitely do a beautiful quilting motif because you're going to be able to see it through the vinyl pocket, and it might be a really cute idea to like do a butterfly, or I mean, hey, maybe you have an embroidery machine. So now I'm going to quilt this. I'm going to turn my stitch length up to a 4.0, and I'm just going to stitch on all of those lines. It was so quiet, I thought it wasn't even stitching. And then I'm going to come from the opposite direction because I don't want to push everything going in the same direction because it could make it wobbly. I'm just holding it super flat while it's stitching. But I am letting the feed dogs do all of the work. All right, now I'm going to do these other lines. Do them all going in that direction. I need to do the other direction. Friday night, just got paid. Got that NSYNC song stuck in my head. You guys know what I'm talking about? Friday night, just got paid. I think that's an NSYNC song. I can't sing, so you won't be able to recognize it coming out of my mouth. All right, now I'm going to spritz this and press it to get rid of those marks. Now, when I'm getting fabric dampened with moisture to remove water-soluble lines, I do like to let it sit for just a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds before I press it, because if I press it too quickly and it starts to absorb the moisture, then it could cause those marks to come back. So I'm going to take an intermission break and go fill up my water bottle, which is another excuse to stand. So I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, I came back. Jennifer Cherney join the live stream. Hello, Jennifer. All right, now I'm going to press this. There might be a couple areas where the lines are a little stubborn if you didn't get enough moisture in there. And you're going to think I'm gross, but this is my solution. Oh, look, it's gone. Look, this is my bag. I can spit on it if I want to, okay? Okay, okay. It is more finicky than a flat iron pen, but it is safer in my opinion. Okay, so this is all quilted and ready to go. So our next step is going to be to kind of assemble it and bind it. So we could assemble this one of two ways. We could put it right sides together and then turn it out, but then you'll have raw edges down inside the bag. So the other way is to do like she has instructed us. And first, open the zipper so that the zipper head is somewhere over top of the vinyl. And then trim off these pieces of zipper tape. And then, there's one. And two. And now we're going to lay it together just like we would a quilt. I'm going to leave this zipper head over here because I don't want to hit it while I'm sewing. Hit it while I'm sewing. But I want to make sure that everything is the same size. So I'm going to measure what this has come out to be. And I think I'm going to take maybe a second to trim down that piece. Just so maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. Because I don't know. I don't know. Should I do it? I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. You never know. Yeah. You know what? We're just going to do it from the back side. What I'm afraid of is if I, so the instructions want us to sew 1/8 of an inch around all 4 sides to hold it in so that it's kind of put together when we do our binding, put our binding on it and finish the project out. The problem is the top is a little bit bigger than the piece underneath, and I feel like if I sew it from the top, then I might be missing it on the bottom. And the easy way to fix it rather than trim everything down is just to tack it down from the back. So I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to go to the machine and I'm just going to use a 2.0 stitch length, and we're going to go very close to the edge on all 4 sides. This is going to be covered up by our binding, so we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to make sure that all the layers are held together. Yes, you could even do like a 4.0 stitch length or a basting stitch if you wanted to. We just want it to be held together so we can bind it. Now, I will tell you, if you're working with the kit that she has given to us, the binding strip that she's given to us is not a normal width binding strip, but I think that's going to be okay because the project is so small and so thin. As I'm sewing around each side, I am holding the layers flat together so that I don't have any twists or turn or, you know, tucks. That's the word. Okay. It's actually pretty easy this way. All right, now before I come in and do the binding, I am going to clean up the edges. So I want everything to be tidy. So this side has a whole lot hanging off compared to the other side. So that's telling me I did not get the top perfectly centered over the backing, but we don't care. I'm just going to cut off the excess so that everything is the same size as the back, but I'm going to be very careful to not cut through the stitching that I just made. Still got you on the camera. I'm sorry. Be helpful if you could see what I'm doing over here. Okay. That'll just make our binding process go a little bit better. So there is our bag. We are almost done. It is totally functional right now if we wanted it to be. The problem is this is a very, well, there's a hole in the bag. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. No, it's a functional bag. If I wanted to come through and just zigzag or run this through a serger, that would totally work too. But I'm going to use this binding to put around all 4 edges to give it a really nice finished look. So now I'm going to grab my press and cut mat, and this is the binding strip that she gave to us. So I'm going to press this whole thing. I could get out my binding tool, but I only have 1 strip here, and I feel like I can, yeah, this will be fine. We're just going to finger press this in half lengthwise through the whole width of the strip. Whole length of the strip, rather. Width of the fabric, whatever, you know what I mean. We're doing it from selvage to selvage. And I will set it with the hot iron. Just because I feel like it's always easier to work with pieces that want to lay flat than poke up on you. Nobody likes surprises, jump scares in their fabric. There we go. All right, now we're just going to bind it. I'm going to start on the back and then roll it over to the front, because that's what I normally do when I'm binding. Move this zipper head into the middle of the project so I don't catch it with my zipper teeth. Quarter inch away from the edge. When I'm binding, I like to stop after a short length, and I do this. Let me show you. I pull it over and then flip it over and bring it over to the front to make sure that this is how much I want to see. If this is too thick, then I know I need to increase my seam allowance. If it's too thin, then I need to decrease my seam allowance. For me, this will be perfect. We're just going to deal with that. It'll be fine. So I'm going to put this back under the needle, continue stitching. I didn't mean to cut my thread. That was an accident. So I'm going to back up a few stitches. I'm going to come down to about a quarter inch away from the end of the binding, and I'm going to stop. And then I'm going to pull. I'll show you in the overhead camera. I'm going to pull. I almost feel like I almost broke a nail there. I'm going to pull this back so that the raw edge of my binding is lined up with this, and then I'm going to pull it back over on top of itself so that the raw edge is lined up with this raw edge, and this little area right here, this fold, you can't see it on camera really well, but that fold is nice and lined up on top of itself. So I fold it away from me, making sure that I have a flush edge, and then I fold it back towards me, making sure that I have a flush raw edge. And then I put it back under the machine, and I just start off of the fabric and keep going. Fold it away, makes a 45-degree fold, fold it back, line it up on that raw edge, put it back under the needle with everything in place, and go again. Ooh, this is going to be cutting it close with this binding strip. It's going to be so close. We'll see if we actually make it. Let me know in the chat if you think this will be enough. I don't know. I feel like with this fold, we're gonna. Oh, I didn't go down far enough. Another stitch. There we go. Here we go. Okay, I just barely have enough. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think when I join this, I'm actually going to join it with a straight edge instead of a traditional 45-degree angle. So I feel like the 45-degree angle could be a little difficult. So here's what I'm going to do. Got this back under the project camera. I guess I could. All right, so I need scissors. I'm going to cut off the selvage right here. And now this selvage is exactly the width of the fabric that I'm working with. And so this gives me a good idea of how much I need. If I look at it down here, so you can see it, if I just make sure that my fabric overlaps just that much, then I know I can join this on a 45-degree seam. So I think I'm going to try it. All I need is we're going to rip some of these stitches to make it easier to join. So all I need is overlap of these two pieces of fabric. So this is lined up with the edge of the polka dot, and now I'm going to put this over top of it, and we're going to cut the top piece of polka dot so that now I have two pieces that are lined up exactly the width of my binding strip. I'm going to need to rip some more stitches to really get this underneath the needle because it's so small. It's going to be so tight. Now I'm going to join it like I would a binding strip. And to do that, I'm going to need to fold my project in half, do my join. Well, I'm going to get my fabric lined up, opened up first. There we go. It's so little. There's not a lot of room for error here, or there's not a lot of pull or a lot of give because it's such a small piece. But if I can just grin and bear it and get this stitched, then I know that my binding I will like my binding better. So we're just going to try. But I got to get the pieces lined up. And that's the problem because I don't have a lot of play. But we'll get there. There we go. Right, that's exactly where I want it to be. To start, I'm going to use my presser foot to hold that down. I could take a minute and pin or clip this if I wanted to, but we're going to live on the edge. We'll see what happens. This doesn't need to be absolutely perfect. It just needs to be joined. Okay, I just don't want any twist down there. There we go. Before I cut it or do anything else, I'm going to open it up and see if that lays flat along my raw edge here, and it does. And so now I'm just going to come in and cut off that excess with my scissors. And then I'm going to finger press this inside open just to reduce even more bulk, and then let it go back to how it was. And we're going to finish stitching this edge. It's a lot of work for a little payoff, but it's a lot of work for a little thing, but the payoff on this, I feel like, is amazing. All right, now we're going to flip it around. Hello! From bobbin chicken to binding chicken. Leveled up. Yes, Katie. Now I'm just going to flip it over so that the vinyl is side up. And I will probably, because it's such a small project, I'll probably do it this way, actually. I'm going to go around all four sides. This will give me a chance to read some of the chat. I need to make some itty bitty project bags, Patty said. I think they're amazing, and the binding, I feel like, definitely finishes it off quite nicely. But if I were making them really small, I'm not going to lie, I would just zigzag the edges on the inside because nobody's going to see it. I would have done put it together inside out and then just zigzag the stitches and turn it right side out because nobody's going to see it. But this does level, like, this is next level. So I'm just going to clip these all the way around. Hi, Terry. Thank you. I'm doing well. I haven't had my nose in the chat until just a minute ago. You came in at the right time. Thank you for the compliment on the nails. I love them too. So I am just taking a minute to fold everything over and clip it all in place. So then when I go to the sewing machine, I can just stitch and not have to fight with my binding fabric. Because it's such a small project, I know I have enough binding clips or wonder clips to really do this all the way around all four sides. And it'll give me a second to snip any loose threads that are just hanging out. There we go. Oh, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Hello, Linda Bishop. Welcome to the live stream. Oh, yeah. Hey, by the way, guys, I will show you. There are two things I want to show you before the live stream ends tonight. Thing number one is I finally found, you guys are going to laugh at me, I finally found Ian's postcard. It was sitting 3 feet away from me on my long arm table under a bunch of papers. Does that give you any idea how long it had been since I used my long arm? But I do want to show you this postcard that he sent to me. And then the other thing is, I mentioned this during the live stream that I did on Tuesday evening, that the next puzzle mystery quilt is coming up for sign up at the end of this month. And I wanted to show you the colorways. And then I ended the live stream and I realized I hadn't done that. So we are going to take a look at those colorways tonight too. So I'm almost done with this project. Here's my lesson to myself. When I do this, I am not going to stress about trying to stay right on the edge. I'm going to let it go in about 1/8 of an inch, and we're just going to tack it down. I am going to go slow because I don't want to veer off of the binding strip. Okay, pivot 90 more degrees. I'm almost done. That's 1.5 sides. And we are doing the last part of our binding. This is really cute. I can't wait to use this. Okay, last full side. Don't forget to share pictures in the Facebook group because I will be doing some sew and tell tonight too. So now's your chance to show the world what you've been working on tonight. Okay, and this is my last side. I only have half of it to do. There we go. We are done. This is my finished project. Now I've got a zipper on the top and it's got a vinyl pocket on the inside so I can put my things down in there. It is lightly quilted. You can see the texture on the back and it's very colorful. And I don't know what I'm going to put in it, but it'll be something and I'm definitely going to use it. So I'm going to clean up my clips and we're just going to have a little bit of chat Q&A, sharing what you guys have been working on and other fun things. So here it is. So I wanted to show you this postcard that Ian made at QuiltCon. I guess I could show you the message on the back. This is what it looks like. Super, super cute. And on the back, he just said, thank you for all that you do on YouTube. So many people get lots of enjoyment from watching your videos. I know you already knew that, but I just wanted an excuse to send you this quilt postcard. Keep being awesome. So this is it. And this looks like it'd be a lot of fun to make. I think Ian should do a video on this. We did these on a live stream before. They were a lot of fun. So I just want to let you guys know I did find my postcard. All right. Oh, no, that's not what we're going to do. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do it. No, girl, we're not going to do it. Not going to do it, girl. All right. Let's take a look at the Facebook group and see what you guys have been working on. And I will also be keeping an eye on the chat. So now's a great time. If you have questions for me, feel free to put them in there. Jennifer said, I love your camera angles tonight. Thank you. I think this is a new setup. I wonder if I could just convince hubby to come in here and like run the cameras for me. Probably not. So I guess I'll just have to keep doing it myself. I feel like one of those one-man bands. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I feel like. We're sewing, we're talking, we're running the tech, we're doing it all, and we're chatting. By the time the live stream's done, I'm like this. All right, let's, we got one member request. Let's get you in. Did I actually transition that out? I did not. Let's, what? Why it's the wrong thing. No. No. No, no. No, no, no. Interesting. That's not what I want. Oh, I know why. Close that. Now, let's try it again. Interesting. It's not working. Why for it not work? I can see it on my preview screen, but in my come through and show everything screen, it's not sharing. All right. Huh. Well, let's figure this out, shall we? That is what is, yes, that is true. That is truth. You do indeed speak truth. This is what I am editing, and now I would like to transition it, but it is not transitioning this window. Why is it not transitioning this window? Okay, well, you know, when all else fails, we redo it. Essential sources, window capture, yeah! Safari! Whoa! I really need to get out more. All right, we're gonna put this down here like that. And then we're gonna drag it underneath here. And let's see if this works. No, it still doesn't work. You guys aren't seeing Safari, right? This is interesting. Like, why is it not sharing my screen? Like, literally. I don't know. think let hubby alone. He lets you do your thing and he needs to do his. You are doing a great job. He was super to let you have a sewing room versus a garage. That's awesome. When you split, scratch a wrinkle, does it have a funny... Okay, AM Joy. I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay. Oh, hey, did that work? Can you guys see Safari now? Yes, no, no, yes. Can you see it? Is it working? Is it working? Can you see it? Can you see that Catherine wants in and I just approved her? Waiting for feedback in the chat. And there's like a minute delay, so... Yes, you can see it. Okay, I have no idea why it wasn't working, but all of a sudden it just started working, and I clicked on something that I didn't think I needed to click on, but there we go. All right, so yay, we can do Sew and Tell. Let's take a look and see what you guys have been working on tonight. Mary Kubishek finished a charity baby quilt top this past week. That's so beautiful. Isn't that called like the Hunter's Star or something? I love it when I see those. My eyes never quite know where to go. But I love it. And I love it that you kind of did it in like a monochrome type of cut way. Amy Walsh. Oh, look at the stitching she did. She got some puppy dog paws inside some hearts. Very nice. Jennifer Turney, Sew and Tell. Finally got my last Eat quilt back from my long armor. All William Morris prints and even a 108 for the backing. I love how my long armor quilted it. Hand binding a queen was a 2-nighter in front of the TV. Courtney, my daughter's wolf that I am making for her using Violet Craft pattern, and my daughter picked the fabrics. That's going to be amazing to see when it's all done. Amy Walsh basted my Daydreams quilt at my local quilt shop and did an edge-to-edge panto on my niece's quilt. Tomorrow is trim, bind, and label her quilt. Basting on the long arm frame was way easier than sandwiching and pinning. Okay, I could see that. Oh, Mary, my first paper-pieced quilt top. It needs a good ironing, then I will put it together. Look at that. It's so pretty. Oh, I love it. I wish I could find like a kit, and I probably could. My problem when I see that is all of the different colors and making sure that I pick the right ones. I would get overwhelmed at picking the colors. Ignore the eat, Jennifer said. Patty G said finished these design boards and project bags today. See? Oh, and that's a really cute idea. She's got a piece of ribbon tied on her zipper head, so you have a little extra flare and a little extra oomph to pull. Anne-Marie Mikowski said, I'm loving this, but that border, ugh. Happy sewing all. It's going to be gorgeous. I love the colors. Oh, that's really pretty. Gail Merrifield finished clue number 4 of So Sweet yesterday. I'm doing the small buttermilk. Still not a fan. Oh, are you not a fan of the fabric? Wait till it all goes together. Maybe you'll change your mind. Dana said, thank you. Thank you for the joy and encouragement you bring in your videos. The other week, you were talking to Beth of Goody Goods about allowing... Oh, stop. About allowing ourselves to not be perfect. Whoop, doop, 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 doop. Let's see, what does it say? You made me realize that a mistake is not a failure. Not perfect doesn't mean unworthy. That's right. As I was brought up in belief, only perfection is acceptable, and any mistakes prevent you from being successful. This has always been an area of extreme pressure for me. Only very recently, I started changing my approach to this. And this is where you came in. As a result, let me proudly present you with the very first free motion quilt I've ever done. I had this patchwork ready for a project bag, so I grabbed it, and instead of using a fusible interfacing, I used batting and free motion quilted it. You can even tell the central line is where I started. By the time I reached the edges, I couldn't feel more proud and accomplished. What a joy and fun. So thank you again for making me take this step, not only in terms of quilting. Sorry for the lengthy post, but I really needed to share my gratitude. Oh, that is amazing. Let's take a look at what you did. I love it. Oh, wow. You did so great. And the thing is when you're doing free motion quilting in the beginning, when you look at it, if you look really close and you focus in on just little small pieces of those stitches, yeah, you're going to see the imperfections. But when you stop and you step away and look at it overall, you don't notice it. Angela Walters says all the time that it's really more about keeping the consistency or the denseness of the quilting together, and that's really what people are going to see. And I agree with that. They're not going to look at your individual stitches. They're going to look at the overall quilting. Now, a quilter will look at that and be able to pick out things, but if you have a quilt friend who looks at it and tells you how it's not good, then they are not your quilt friend. They are the quilt police, and run. Unless you are asking them to help you see where you can get better. Gayla Best says, Bliss Quilt Along, Block 1. Anyone else working on this quilt? And I'm wearing my B-pin pendant too. Awesome. Elizabeth Ocon, I'm working on a fabric collage piece from a class I took today from Jane Halforth. I need to create a quilt sandwich and start doing free motion quilting to stitch it down. That's so pretty. Laura Austin, catching up on the Pat Sloan Secret Lives of Color Blocks. Churn dashes! We did those last week. Way too quickly. Well, those aren't technically churn dashes. Jamie Myers, I finished these two up. Sew along with a quilting life and a jelly roll race with 2 panels inserted. That's awesome. Shannon Way, I'm sorry, I just saw the fabric. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so excited about this duffel bag. Pattern is by Knot and Thread. The fabric is the Spam fabric from So Yeah Quilting. I just cannot. I cannot. I'm sorry. I am not laughing at that. I love it. I just don't love spam. And so I saw the spam. I went, oh my goodness. And the thing is, I remember when that fabric was shown on So Yeah, and a bunch of people bought it, and I was like, yeah, I'm not buying that fabric. And it's one of those things you're either like, I love it, yes, or you're I love that you made a duffel bag out of it. It's awesome. Way to go. I just remembered seeing the fabric from So Yeah, that's why I was laughing. I was not laughing at your project. That's from a while ago. Nancy. Boop, 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 boop. Nancy Linen, it has a 72-inch by 94-inch design wall that her husband helped her frame and hang. Those are pretty fabrics. I know those are batiks. I can see it. That's from a while ago. That's from 9 hours ago, but we'll read it. Mac Cox says, it's not Disney, but it is Hello Kitty. Another 3-yard quilt that has been zhuzhed up with a huge applique. I love it. That's awesome. Way to go. I'm going to refresh and see what else has been posted during the live stream tonight. Hey, Jim. Oh my goodness, Courtney's elephant! You guys! I love the colorful elephant. Stop it. Oh no, oh no, oh no. We talked about this before. We're going to let that one keep going because that's an older post. Kathy Cantu, I finished my crazy quilt from my grandson. Fabric is on the go by Stacy L. Let's take a look at those pictures. I love it. Oh, what's this? I don't know what this is. Is it the quilt all bunched up in a Ziploc bag? I don't know. See, everybody loves the spam quilt, the spam duffel bag. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. Here are two ladies I made through crochet. I just bought the pattern to make the next one. They are 8 inches tall. Look at that. Love it. Barb Olson, I'm working on a baby quilt for my granddaughter that is due to be born any day now, and I just have the binding to finish. Congratulations on the new addition to the family. Jamie Myers, my first curved piece quilt. Baby quilt for a friend's granddaughter. I love that. Nice. I love the color palette. Paula Whedon at Quilt Retreat and working on the Confetti Star quilt pattern by Material Girlfriends using the Tula Pink homemade line and some fairy dust. Fairy dust is so pretty. Tanya got this done. Like it. Tamala Hannah is working on I'm going to start second guessing how to say it. She got these blocks done for a charity quilt. I love a good sawtooth star. Nice points. Teresa Smith has a portable design board that she is still working on. Oh, LCSD said that bag looks like a space bag vacuumed. So the quilt goes down inside of it and then they suck all the air out. And so that's probably what it is. Linda Bishop, my version of Secret Lives of Color quilt top or flimsy and a finished charity quilt. I like that. Maria Quarterman, I just finished working on a throw for a very special friend, and it's the first attempt at slicing squares diagonally and switching them up. I covered the back with Minky. It did great in my machine. Now I need to clean my machine. One thing that I learned on YouTube is that if you used Minky after you cut it, make sure to vacuum the edges you have cut so that the fur does not get into your machine. It's very true. I like that. That's a nice way to have like a lattice look. Katie says that I've been trying to finish my niece's hashtag quilt so I can give it to her in 2 weeks. Looks like it's coming along. Kathy Cantu says, my daughter in the chat, my daughter says I make too many quilts, so I vacuum sealed it so she can't say they take too much room. It's a great idea. Lisa Matthews, I'm working on pre-cutting 7 Sisters quilt blocks for the next retreat, or for the retreat next week. Awesome. Valerie Martinez West, I finished all the house blocks for my Quilt Guild monthly sew-along. Now I need to put the sashing on. I like these. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, look! Deneen is doing this, and her fabric is black. So she's got the black colorful version where I have the white. And then we're back to Mary's. We've got a couple of requests coming in. Let's see if we can get these people in. Tanya and Polly and Denise and Beth, we've got you in the group, so you should be able to post to the group now. We'll refresh and see if there's any new posts in the past few minutes. This is my favorite part of the night. I love seeing what you guys are working on. Even if it's spam fabric. I love this. You know why I love this? Because my mother-in-law would love this. She would love that bag. I should have bought the fabric for her. I should have done it. Oh, that would make awesome lunch bags. Brenda Foley says, I have been cutting scraps all week, making 1.5 inch scrap project, corner log cabin blocks. I swear they are growing. Oh, I'm getting tired. We already got that. We're going to refresh. Ooh, April Lynn says, Becca, everyone raves about Best Press, but Purex Staflo concentrate works just as well and costs less, and you get so much money, so much more for the money. We live and we learn. I'll have to check that out. Ooh, pretty. Courtney is doing Rolling Stones blocks. We'll be doing one of those in the Brightside Quilt Along coming up. Got all my patterns gathered so I can get those blocks caught up. All right. I'm going to refresh one more time, and then this is it for me. We're done with the Facebook group. We're going to move on to cottoncuts.com. I don't have a code yet for the Puzzle Mystery Quilt, but I want to show you what the colorways are going to be. Oh, wait. Get dash started. Go back. Here it is. So they're going to call it Piazza. Sign-ups are going to open up on May 27th at 7 a.m. Central Time, with the first clues shipping on July 29th, 2022. There is a small that will measure 48 inches by 60 inches, and it will cost $18.75 a month for 10 months. And then the large will measure 72 by 72 and will cost $28.50 per month. And these are the colorways. So we're going to go through each of these one at a time. This is Campo. This is the Let's Get Wild fabric line by Dear Stella. I can't pronounce these colorways, guys, so I'm just going to click on it and tell you the fabric line. This is Halcyon by In the Beginning Fabrics. I like their fabrics because they look like batiks, but they're not. This is Amelia by Mac-Hour Fabrics for Andover. Sheila Smith wants to know if we can, whoever mentioned the thing about the, I think it was April Lynn, can you give the dilution for the starch that you use, please? This would be an awesome patriotic style quilt. It is Spangled by Wishwell for Robert Kaufman. This is All Is Well by Art Gallery Fabrics. This is the one I want to do. Midsummer Night's Dream by Hoffman Fabrics. And of course they're batiks, and I want to do this one. We'll see what happens. This would be my second pick. This is Marine Metallics by Michael Miller. This would be pick number 2 for me. This is Tame Side by Morris & Company for Free Spirit Fabrics. This is Between by Allison Glass for Andover. We've got a Cafe collection. This is just Cafe Facet Collective for Free Spirit Fabrics. Oh, I like, this might be my third one. This might be choice number 3, or maybe it'll go right up to the top. It's all peachy colors, peaches and cream. It's Nectarine Fusion for Art Gallery Fabrics. Man, I'm kind of liking that more and more, so I think that might be up at the top. So I've got 3 that I like so far. This is a repeat. It's the same fabric line, Marine Metallics by Michael Miller, but it's using some different fabrics from that fabric line. This is Michael Miller fabric with Kona Solids. This is in my top, so I've got 4 favorites that I like. This one's nice. Kaleidoscope by Michael Miller Fabrics. This would be up there for me. I don't love the bugs, but I love the colors. So if I had to choose, I would pick Kaleidoscope or Nectar Fusion. I guess 5 would be, there would be 5 that I would do, because I have the Marine Metallics, either one of those I would do. But I would say my number one favorite, this is the one that I really want to do. It's got the blues and the purples. It's just everything. I'm in love with this one. I think Midsummer Night's Dream would be number 1. And honestly, this would be number 2. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to go back to the group and refresh just to see if anything slipped in after I said I was done, because there is that delay when we're doing a live stream. And I want to make sure I give everybody a chance to share their work. Susan O'Neill Smith made a very simple baby quilt that I just love. The nursery is white, light neutrals, and the palest of pinks. So I just used white charm squares and a pale pink inner border, backing, and binding. I was thinking about giving the mom a spool of pink thread if she wants to have anything embroidered after the baby comes. Oh, that's such a nice idea. It's very clean. So pretty. Katie said, oh my goodness, that Midsummer is what I am using for our FPP project. Tiffany likes the purple one too. Angela likes the peach one. So many choices. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, no problem. April Lynn said, so Becca, I use 1 part Staflow and 2 parts water. Got it. I'm going to write that down. I want to try that. Let me get a pen. I need a pen. And I need a piece of paper. 1 part Staflow. 2 parts water. I have to give it a try. All right. And we're back to, oh, this is a new post. Tara Lynn Luxon made a 3-yard quilt. And while I'm looking at these, we're just going to, okay, one of the moderators must have got them. Thank you. We saw that. We saw that. This is the 3-yard quilt. That's nice. That looks like an easy sew too. Bye, Stephanie. Have a great night. Laura Austin says, do you not get your first pick on the puzzle mystery quilt? How does that work? So they haven't asked they haven't picked their ambassadors for the next puzzle mystery quilt yet. They will eventually reach out to the content creators that they want to do the puzzle mystery quilt next go around. And I certainly hope that I'm invited back to do the next one. They invite you each time around. So it's not a guarantee that I'm always going to be in. I hope that I did a good enough job for them with the last one and I get to continue doing them. And the best way that you can help me do them is if you're going to sign up. When you sign up, you use my code, and that lets Cotton Cuts know that you're doing this because of me, and that continues to allow me to make those videos. When you are a Puzzle Mystery Quilt ambassador, they reach out to you and ask you if you will do it, and if you say yes, they will tell you which size they're going to give to you, either large or small, and then they ask you to pick 3 colorways that you like, and then they coordinate with all of the other content creators that they've selected, and they make sure that not everybody's doing the same colorway, and then they get back to you and tell you the colorway that they chose or that you're going to be able to do. So you pick your favorite, and then you pick 2 backups, basically. At least that's how it's worked in the past. And it's worked out pretty well. Most of the time, I think we all get colorways that we really want to work with. So it's been pretty fun. Highly recommend the Puzzle Mystery Quilt. It's one of my favorite block of the months. Polly just needs to find him. I don't know what you mean by that, but this is gorgeous. Oh, maybe she says, I just need to bind it. Okay, we saw that too. Refresh one last time. Angela says she uses Staflow as well, but it's a different recipe. What's your recipe, Angela? All right, we're going to turn that off and we're going to come back in and we're just going to chat for a little bit before we end the night. If you have any questions, you can toss them out in the chat. I'm just paying attention to the chat. We'll wrap up in a few minutes. But I kind of want to know a little bit about this Staflo recipe because I've got April saying that she does 1 part Staflo and 2 parts water. What do other people use? Good night, Jacqueline. Have a great night. Thank you for being here. Melissa Fannin says, what is Staflo? Staflo is a starch, apparently. I think Kimberly Jolly uses it almost exclusively. What is Staflo and where do you get it? Let me look. You can get Staflo on Instacart, on Amazon. Here, let me show you what it looks like. I'll give you this. Oh, no, that's not it. It's this. Let me do. This is what Staflo looks like. You can get it a gallon of it on Amazon for 15 bucks. This is what it looks like. There you go. And they're saying you mix this with 1 part Staflo and 2 parts water. Fontless, Tiffany said. Laura Aston says, how do I sign up for the puzzle mystery quilt through me? You don't sign up through me. You sign up on their website. It is, if you do !PMQ, it'll put a link in the chat. It'll be cottoncuts.com/get-started starting on May 27th. And once they have picked their content creators to be the next puzzle mystery quilt ambassador for the next one, those content creators will have a special code that you use at sign up. You just put it in the code when you check out and you get a free gift. If I am selected to be a mystery quilt ambassador for the next round, I'll have a code for you. I don't know. I don't have any information to give you right now other than just keep an eye on the website and keep an eye on your favorite content creators for upcoming information. It should be, I mean, we're 2 weeks away, so we should be hearing something soon. Polly says that you can get it at Walmart a lot cheaper. Okay. Oh no, Georgia McRoy says, I'm just tuning in. Just got back after a tornado came through last night. Judy says she pays $4 at Walmart. What? $15 on Amazon or $4? Oh, look, yeah. $4 through Instacart for 64 ounces. That's hilarious. $14 on Amazon, $4 on Instacart, which is... Here's the Walmart listing, actually. $3. $3.52 at Walmart or $13.50 from Amazon. Wow, that's crazy. All right, so if you're going to buy Staflo, go to Walmart. That's great. That's great. Maria says, it has been around for many years. My mom used to press our dresses with it. Jewel Soren says, how many months is the cotton cut so long? 10 months. Months 1 through 9, you put clues together. Then in month 10, you take all of the clues that you did in months 1 through 9 and put it together into a finished quilt top. The clues in months 1 through 9 are usually pretty easy. You can do them in less than an hour. I do a live stream for all of mine, so you'll see me do a live stream for these as well. The live stream, I'm usually live for about an hour and 15 or 20 minutes, but you have to remember that I'm going a little bit slower than I would be if I were just sewing because I'm stopping and explaining everything every step of the way. So if you set aside an hour once a month to get your package, all you got to do is sit at the machine and sew. Don't need to starch, don't need to cut. You just sit and you sew. Do you use it like Best Press? Joy wants to know. Yes, I think you do. Colleen says, I have the link for the one at Walmart saved. Donna said, Amazon's a ripoff. Brenda said, you can get it from any grocery store. Yeah, BR says, goes to show you, not everything's cheaper on Amazon. Yep. Brenda says, I use it. I put 3 parts water and 1 part Staflo and 2 drops of lemon oil. Ooh, I bet that's a really good idea. So you can mix your own starch by adding your own essential oils in there so it could smell however you want it to smell. Terry said, didn't it say 353.52? No, it didn't. Hold on, I'll show you. Let me make you. Oh, my husband's home. I can see him coming up the drive. So that means the live is gonna end. He goes out with his friend on Friday nights. It is 352, but it is 5.5 cents per fluid ounce. So there you go. And that is it. So y'all know what time it is. A little bit after 10. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here because I'm going to end the live stream. But you can continue the fun. We've got a number of moderators in the chat. 2 of them particularly do live streams on Sunday. So make sure you hop over and check out Teresa and Tiffany on Sunday. I will probably be at both of their live streams. So I'd love to hang out with you there. I'll see you guys all next Friday night. And oh, by the way, let me just get my phone. Before I let you go, I think I know, but I have to write everything down because I'm like that now. Huh. Oh. Can't remember. I have to look. I think next week I have a collab happening. I can't remember who it is or what it is. I need to go search through my Instagrams and text messages and emails. Either way, I will be live next week, so come on back next week at 8 p.m. I'll see you guys all then. You don't have to go home, but you just can't stay here because I'm ending the live. Bye!